Joining us now, Editor-in-Chief of Breitbart London, Raheem Kassam is with us. Also, the CEO of the Hebrew City, Israeli activist May Golan. You have been in Israel, and the same thing is happening in Europe, and now it's happening in the United States. Hillary Clinton wants to increase 550% the refugee population. ISIS says they'll infiltrate it. Every top security official is warning ISIS will infiltrate. You said the same thing's happening in Europe, the same thing's happening in Israel. What have you seen?
Well, unfortunately, what Hillary Clinton is saying here in the U.S. is exactly what's been happening in Israel with the left radical organizations. They have been trying to bring, and successfully, I might add, over 100,000 illegal infiltrators, who is the majority of them are Muslims. They're bringing them from Eritrea, they're bringing them from Sudan, and basically helping them get citizenship in Israel.
And then they get to vote.
Exactly.
And how big is that population?
We're watching, right now we have 150,000 immigrants, and we have to say, I have to explain, Sean, you know, Israel is in the size of New Jersey. You know, Israel cannot take so many infiltrators into her, and the problem is, the biggest problem is that those infiltrators are coming in thinking they should dilute the Jewish majority of Israel. They should change the character, the Jewish character of this nation.
And is a population big enough that it impacts elections? Because that's what's happening here. Democrats are looking for a permanent voting majority.
Exactly.
And that's why they want illegal immigrants. They assume they'll vote Democrat. Same thing?
Exactly. Definitely. Listen, those people do not believe that the Jewish country has any right to exist whatsoever. And with the millions that are being funded by the New Israel Fund, that are radical anti-Zionist lefties in Israel, they are helping them to change every possible neighborhood and city in Israel.
And it's the same thing. Because you're outspoken, people attack you. They say you're racist. You're this. Same arguments against anybody that says that you cannot allow people that have a cultural clash, correct?
Well, you know, the word racist has just lost all meaning to me. You know, we see, like, I can see here what's going on with Donald Trump. You know, they're calling him racist just for wanting to protect the borders of his country. Well, this is the same thing in Israel. I think I and the rest of the people of Israel have the right to protect their homes and its borders. And when they're bringing so many Muslim infiltrators just in the way of trying to change this Jewish country and to help the left radical get voted in the seats in the parliament, then you know that something is very wrong.
You're going to run for the Knesset?
I'm going to run for the Knesset in Israel because I believe that Israel Jews have the right to protect their home.
Let me go to Raheem. Raheem, you're on the ground for Breitbart in London. We have had you on talking about 88 Sharia courts in Great Britain, no-go zones, which you said do exist in spite of people that are politically correct and they don't have the courage to say it. You have talked about, you know, how the refugees have attacked in Belgium and Paris. Explain, you know, is this all part of a strategy of radical Islamists?
It is absolutely a strategy, Sean, and this isn't something that should come as a surprise to us. It's not something that should come as a surprise to Hillary Clinton. I thought she had the best advisors in the world on this, but somehow she seems not to realize that actually even Colonel Gaddafi himself warned that he was holding back a tide of Islamist migrants from infiltrating Europe. And of course, this is exactly what they've used Europe's migrant crisis to do. People have been warning about this now for years upon years, but it does seem to have happened now, at least in Europe, with millions. They always say 1 million. It was far more than 1 million last year that made it into Europe, into Germany.
In reality, what's happening in Germany and all across Europe is the citizens of those countries are less safe, more vulnerable to attack, and it's likely people will die. Fair statement?
That is an absolutely fair statement. It's not a fair statement just in the sense that you're projecting something for the future. This is a statement that's borne out in the facts when we've looked in detail at the German government's own crime statistics from last year.
And Hillary Clinton wants to increase the refugee population here, in spite of our intelligence warning, by 550%. I argue she's gambling with the lives of the American people. That is similar?
I couldn't agree more. You know, Sean, the crime rate in Israel and in the neighborhoods that have been occupied completely by the infiltrators is so high. You know, you see rapes, you see murders, you see so much violence. And not to mention, you know, the crime rate. We're talking about people who've made terror attacks and swore to ISIS and have said that they are willing to cooperate with Hamas and some with the Fatah. We are watching so many terrorists going with the infiltrators right into these countries, and we know that those people just want to make terror attacks and waiting for the right time. And I don't understand people like Hillary Clinton, but
I gotta roll. Yeah.
But I just want to say that I hope that, like here in the U.S., as in Israel, people will not just build walls, but also know to protect its borders after the walls are built.
All right. Thank you both for being with us. Appreciate it. And